Hello lovely yoga people, and welcome to this week's video. So today we're working with the element of water, and the aspect of water is all about the feminine. Whether you're male or female, it's about the feminine aspect. It's about creativity. After all, the womb, which is where we start our lives, is full of water, and we begin our lives as a little fish inside the womb. And the womb is also the ultimate symbol of creativity, so water is also about creativity. It's about the flow of life, going with the flow, acceptance of what is. So today in our practice we're going to be trying to flow as much as possible. So I'm going to invite you to really try and tune into your watery aspects. We all have an aspect of all of the different elements. So I'm going to invite you to be really trying to tune into that watery element within you. And as we go through the poses, try and flow from one to the other. Beautiful. So you won't need any props today other than a mat. So get your mat and I will meet you on it. So we're going to begin today by lying on our backs. So come and join me in semi-supine. So this is lying on your back with your knees bent and your heels behind your bottom. And we're going to have our palms and have them on the belly here. So to begin, we're just going to tune in to the waters of the belly. So whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter. The feminine aspect of the belly. So this is where we meet our emotions. People talk about feeling it in the middle of the belly, feeling it in the gut. So this is where our aspect of water, our emotions lie. So we can just be with this for a little while, just being here, tuning into your breath, moving in and out through the nose, feeling how your belly rises and falls. And then what we're going to begin to do is on the exhale, we're going to begin to just drop the lower spine. So keep the hands on the belly and just drop the lower spine. You'll feel the tailbone curling up on the exhale. You're not lifting the hips. And then as you inhale, just bringing the spine back to its natural place, feeling how the belly just comes back. So doing that a few more times. Exhaling, dropping the lower spine to the ground. Inhale, coming back to the natural, neutral place. So working at your own speed, in your own time, with your own breath. And then the next time you exhale, make this the last one in this place. And we're going to come back to stillness for a moment. And then we're going to inhale and we're going to bring the arms up and over the head to touch the floor behind us. And then as we exhale, bringing the arms down and taking that lower spine to the ground again, bringing the arms down. So we're just doing the same thing, but involving the arms. And we can begin to just feel our arms are like seaweed, moving through the water. Beautiful. So the next time you inhale, I'm going to invite you to begin to lift the hips up off the ground. You don't have to come very far, so that arms come back behind you, and then as you exhale again, dropping the lower spine down to the ground. So you see I didn't raise my hips very far. Make sure your heels stay behind the bottom. Inhale, lifting the hips. This time I'm going to go a little bit higher. Arms coming behind me. Exhale, dropping back down. I'm dropping my lower spine first. And I'm trying to make this as fluid a movement as I can. Each time I'm coming a little bit higher. So we're coming up into the bridge and then exhaling down. Don't turn your head to the side while your hips are up. Inhaling up, making sure you're keeping your knees nice and close, hip width apart, exhaling down. Lovely. So we're going to add on to this. So inhaling up, lifting the hips up. And then next time we exhale, we're going to come down and we're going to take a resting inhale here with the hands behind the bottom. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring the knees into the chest and bring the head up to meet the knees. Exhaling back down again. Inhaling, breath up and arms up, hips up. So we're doing a little sequence here. Exhaling down. Inhaling, resting breath here. Exhaling, lifting the knees and the head. Exhaling everything down. One more time. Inhaling everything up. Exhaling everything down. Resting breath, inhale here. And then exhale, head to knee. So if you want to carry on and do some more of those, just pause the video and do a few more. But we are now going to bring our hands out to the side. So I've got my arms out at shoulder height. And I'm just going to drop my knees down to one side. Looking over the other arm. Then inhale, bringing the knees up to the top, rolling on the feet, going in the other direction. Take a moment here. And then coming back up, hands down by the sides. So from here, we're going to lift the legs up and take them up to the ceiling. Feet towards the ceiling, knees nice and bent. Bring the arms straight up, so straight up from the shoulders here. And we're going to begin to behave like seaweed. So we're moving our limbs, which is also moving our body. Imagining that we're in a bit of a whirlpool. So the water's going in all different directions and our different parts of us are being floated around in all different directions. Beautiful. And then bring that back down into semi-supine. Okay, so we're going to come to a seated position now. If you like to have a block under your hips, then you're welcome to. Otherwise, just sitting up in whichever position. It might be that you need to be like this or whatever, or even in a chair. Just whichever position is the most comfortable for you. And we're going to start to take some big circles with the body. So we're trying to keep the sit bones on the ground, but we're taking the body all around. Trying to go as far as we can, imagining now that our whole body is like a piece of seaweed in a river, in a whirlpool somewhere. And then we're going to bring the arms in as well. So taking the arms into the movement all the way around. And then when the next time you come to the front, pausing there, and we'll go back the other way. So all the way around, trying to keep the sit bones down on the ground as far as you can, all the way around. and then coming back to stillness. So now we're going to transition to all fours, so coming over into all fours. Sun ray fingers spread nice and wide. So we're going to begin with just some gentle cat and cow. Inhaling, looking forward, taking the spine to the floor. Exhale, taking the spine to the ceiling. One more of those. And then we're going to add to it. So the next time you inhale, take one leg back behind you. And as you exhale, bring nose to knee. See if you can make this a really fluid movement. Nose to knee. And then the next time you inhale, see if you can take the opposite arm out. If you can't, that's fine. And then exhale, bringing that hand behind. So if you can do this, then that's fine. If not, keep the hand down and just do the leg. Beautiful. One more of those. And then we'll bring that hand down. So we'll do the same on the other side, starting straight away with leg and arm, if that's okay for you. Trying to make this a nice fluid movement with the breath, exhaling as you come in, inhaling as you stretch out. Beautiful. Then coming back to all fours. And we're just going to take a little moment. I've just moved forward a bit there to make sure that when I take my foot out, my foot is still on the mat. And from here, I'm going to just push back, just stretching a little bit through the hamstring on one side, and then just swapping over to the other side. Beautiful. So from here, I'm going to do what I was doing then, take that foot back, but then I'm going to bring the other one to join it, so I'm coming into plank. Now if this just feels too much for your hands or your low back or whatever, you can keep your knees down and just move your shoulders over your hands like this. So it's the same thing, but you've got your knees down. Or you can, if you're happy to have your feet raised, that's great. And from here, we're just going to do a little bit of a sort of fishy move. So we're going to inhale, just drop the hips a little bit, lifting the head. And then exhale, taking the bottom up, dropping the head. So just moving a couple more times. If you're down on your knees, that's fine. You're just doing the same thing from here. Just make sure that the movement is in the back. If you're up here, same thing, movement in the back. Beautiful. Come back down, and I'm going to invite you to take a little rest. So maybe give your hands a little bit of a massage, resting down in whichever position suits you. So coming back to all fours, we're going to tuck the toes and gently lift the bottom, coming up into the dog, keeping the knees nice and bent to begin with. Sun ray fingers, and we're just breathing here, just dropping down, trying to just release the shoulders towards the knees. And then we can just do a little bit of walking the dog, so just take one heel down and then the other, just waking up the hamstrings a little bit more. And then we're going to come back to stillness, and we're going to do the same thing that we were doing from the plank, but we're going to do it from here. So we're going to inhale and bring ourselves forward, and exhale, dropping down into the plank, and then going through to that sort of fishy move here. Inhaling, coming all the way back up to the dog, and pushing the shoulders gently towards the knees. Inhaling forwards, exhaling out into the plank. Again, if you're down on your knees, you're doing the same thing from here, but you're just doing it from all fours. So you're coming all the way back, and then all the way forwards into this sort of half plank here, and doing this. So if you're up on your knee, up on your feet, you're coming all the way to the dog, and then inhaling forwards and coming down. Beautiful. So then we're going to drop the knees, dropping back into the child again, taking a moment to rest your palms and your wrists, maybe give yourself a little bit of a turn around with the wrists, and we can take some big sighs out. So just letting it all go. So from your resting position, I'm going to invite you to come up into a little bit of a sort of kneeling position, and then tuck the toes under, and we're going to just very quickly just come through the toe squat here. It's just so good for the toes to do this regularly. People don't like it. If you find it too much, then just raising up from here and taking a little bit of weight into the toes. It's so good for the toes, and if you do it regularly, they become used to it, and it's great for the whole body. So from here, we're then going to come up into a little sort of squat thing here, so that we're up on our toes, and then we're going to come into a standing forward bend. So I'm going to just lift my hips. I'm going to step forward a bit so I'm in the middle of the screen. So lifting my hips up and dropping my head down. Now if you've got any kind of blood pressure issues, that might not be great. So what you can do there is you can have your hands here on your elbows if you like, and then just see if you can drop the head, or you can have your hands on the mat if that's more comfortable. Keep the legs nice and bent. If you're okay to drop the whole body over, it's a really beautiful release for the back, for all of the vertebrae. So it's really good to try and have a little sway here, just maybe tuning into the vertebrae and all the fluid and flexibility around there. Oh, beautiful. So I'm just going to turn to face the screen here, and I'm going to show you that actually what we're going to do here is we're going to bring our heels together. So we're coming into kind of like a plie position here, and you might be up like this anyway, but what we're going to do is we're going to come down and squat like this. Okay, this is like a froggy type thing. Frogs like water. So what we're going to do is we're going to very gently lift the hips up and down from here. So we're going to inhale up, exhale down. So if you've got any kind of blood pressure issues at all, you'll probably like this. Keep your head up and not straighten your legs so that you keep your head above your heart. If you're fine to put your head down, you can come up and almost straighten your legs there. Just do what is good for you. We're not going really fast. A couple more times. It's really good for strengthening the leg muscles. Last time. And then we're just going to come back to our standing forward bend here in whichever position that is, and then we're going to gently, knees nice and bent, just coming up to our mountain pose, Tadasana. So you can just like give yourself a little bit of a wiggle around, do whatever's right for you, get your hair out of the way. I forgot to put my hair up today, never mind. And we're going to work with starting off with our feet in parallel, in just below the hips, taking a really good open position with the hands and then arms and hands, and then just let them flop. Looking down at kind of skirting board level, knees are soft, weight of the torso gently resting on the hips, shoulders relaxed away from the ears. Beautiful. And then we're going to then just begin to take some little sways. So we're swaying from side to side, letting the arms act like our seaweed, And coming over and round and up. And then we're going to begin to start to step to one side and the other side. And even maybe even beginning to take one foot off the ground. And then see if you can take a moment with the foot off the ground. And then coming back to the other way. So we're taking this big, like as if you're a huge piece of seaweed that's been washed from one side and then the other. And then the next time we come over to this side, we're going to try and stop. See if you can balance. And then coming the other side, stop here, see if you can balance. Beautiful. Okay, so we've practiced some movements. We're now going to try and see if we can put some of those movements together into a little watery sequence. So we're going to do it through nice and slowly once, and then we'll do it a bit faster the second time. And you can always just stop the video and practice it a bit and then come back and join me. So we're going to start in all fours. And we're just going to come out into the plank. So I've told you how to modify, so you know how to modify if you want to have your knees down. And from here we're going to start by just doing some of those fishing movements. Inhaling up, exhaling, the back coming up. Inhaling, raising the head up, exhaling, the head goes down, back coming up. And this time we're going to come all the way up into the dog. Be there for a moment. And then we're going to inhale and bringing the body forward, coming all the way down. So we're doing that whole big fishy movement we were doing before, coming all the way back to the dog. Inhaling, coming all the way forward, dropping down, belly towards the floor, head up. Exhale, taking the body towards the knees. Beautiful. So now we're going to step the feet and the hands together. I'm turning towards you, but you don't have to do that. And we're going to take a moment in this standing forward bend. Nice bent knees, dropping the head or having the head up if you need it up. Do a little bit of a sway from side to side. And then we're going to bring the feet into this plie position that we were doing before, bringing the hands down, the bottom down into the frog position. And then we'll just do a couple of those, raising up and down. So inhaling, raising up, exhaling down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. One more, inhaling up, exhaling down. And then from here, we're going to raise up again into the standing forward bend, and then gently raise ourselves up into Tadasana, opening the body, and we're going to begin to sway from one side to the other, and then taking the feet out a bit, maybe lifting up on one foot, and then the other. And then perhaps coming up and really lifting that foot right up. And then the next time we come up, we're going to try and hold it, she says. And the other side, hold it. Beautiful. And then just coming back to Tadasana. Okay, so we're going to do it one more time and see if we can do it a little bit faster, but still flowing. So one foot out and then the other coming into the plank. And inhale, head up. Exhale, back forward. Inhale, up. Exhale, taking it back forward. Exhaling into the dog. And then we're going to inhale and bringing the whole body forward and coming through into that fishy tail. Exhaling up again and into the dog. Inhaling back and round and back into the fishy position. Exhaling back into the dog, and then we're going to walk the hands to the feet and the feet to the hands. Coming into our standing forward bend, just dropping the head down, knees nice and bent. Have a little sway from side to side. Then we're going to bring the heels together. Exhale into our frog and inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. And we're going to inhale into the standing forward bend. And then inhaling and then raising up into Tadasana, taking a moment here before we begin to sway. Beautiful. Begin to lift the feet up, lifting the feet right up, and then we'll see if we can stay. And then coming the other way, see if we can stay. Wonderful. So come back gently to Tadasana, and then I'll meet you down on the mat for some counter poses. So coming into semi-supine here, just for a moment, maybe just take the hands back onto the belly, just to come back to where we started here, tuning into the waters of life. And then we're going to inhale, bring the knees up over the chest, take the arms out to the sides and drop the knees down if this is comfortable. If you'd rather keep your feet on the ground and do this, then do that. Looking over the other arm, inhaling and exhaling. And in a nice fluid way, bringing the legs over the other side, looking over the other way. Beautiful. And then just coming back, we'll have a rock from side to side, do a little bit more of our seaweed here, just to massage the back and let the legs and arms do whatever they want. And then we're just going to come down into Shavasana. So lying down with the feet a little bit about mat width apart, arms down by the sides with the palms facing up. It's raining outside, and it's been raining throughout this practice, which is just a wonderful thing to have while you're doing a practice all around the element of water. So grateful for the water on this planet, so grateful for the water on this land. So grateful to anyone who joins me here in these videos. Stay here as long as you like. Don't move just because I do. Really give yourself the time to relax at the end of your practice. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this very watery practice on this very rainy day. And if you're coming to the lessons, then there's a lot more than I can fit into the time that I put into the videos. But if you live too far away and you can't come to lessons and you would like to donate to me, then I'm really happy to receive. And the email is at the end of the video, and you can contact me and I can let you know how to do that. Thank you so much. Namaste.